Many thanks for staying with us here on Newsers. To some more stories now. And a group known as Concerned Kwahu Development Youth Association is calling on the acting paramount chief of the Kwahu traditional area, Nana Esiedu Ajiman III, to publicly retract his endorsement of President John Dramani Mahama for another term of office. The chief last week endorsed the president during his visit to the area as part of his Accounting to the People tour, claiming the president has brought a lot of development to the Kwahu area. In a statement signed by its president, Obibini Techi Frank, the group said it was expecting the chief to seize the opportunity of the president's visit to the area to request for more developmental projects instead of openly campaigning for the president. But let's get more now from the president of the very association. I'm speaking of Frank Obibini Techi, who is the president of the youth group, and he's joining us on phone now with a lot more on this very issue. Mr. Techi, good morning. Many thanks for your time, sir.
Good morning, sir.
So I'm just trying to find out what really is wrong with the chief, suggesting that, well, indeed, during a particular president's tenure, a lot of developmental projects has gone on in his town. I mean, what's wrong with a chief saying that? Does that amount to what you deem as endorsements?
Okay. Let me say good morning to all your listeners this morning. And I will first of all also thank you for the opportunity offered. Concerned Kwahu Development Youth Association, CODIA. Our request is very simple and in a humble manner. And it's about the endorsement of President Mahama by our acting chief. Our acting chief had the opportunity to request for more developmental projects for Kwahu when President Mahama was in his outfit, but rather decided to endorse the president for another term in this hardship. Constitutionally, you know, chiefs are not even permitted or allowed to engage in active politics or declare their support openly. Some chiefs did this in some areas or certain towns, and it has brought a lot of divisions among the people within such communities. So we don't see the reason why our chief or our acting chief should come out openly and endorse the president in this manner.
Obibini, I'm sorry, but you still haven't answered my question. I was saying, if your chief was only stating the obvious, that indeed, under the president's administration, his town has seen a lot of development, I wonder how that constitutes an endorsement.
Oh, actually, if you've heard of the tape moving around, he went on further to conclude that per what he has seen or per what the government has done, he wished at least we give him another term. He concluded on that note.
And you think he erred in that direction?
Pardon?
I'm saying you think the chief erred by saying that.
Yeah, but if someone tells you or someone comes out openly to declare that per what someone has done, we should give him another term so that he concludes his project, it's an endorsement.
Okay, so I am now asking that really. So the duty of the chief obviously is to try and lead the developmental works in his town together with the numerous agencies as well as the district chief executive for the area.
Exactly.
But so if during this tenure he has seen that he's seen tremendous improvement, tremendous growth, and really residents of the town have benefited a lot, and he deems it fit to do something so that this very situation continues. What's wrong with that?
Oh, actually, I think we are all in this area, and we've seen what is going on here. And even if any foreigner comes around, the person will see what's going on here. If there has been this sort of improvement, as the chief was claiming, we all know. Fine. We were not saying the president has not done anything. In fact, we can't have a president or a government who will not do any project in a district or in a particular area.
I see.
But what we've seen is it's not enough, and we've also experienced several hardships and sufferings within this or under this government. So we don't expect our chief to endorse the president who has brought all these sufferings onto the lives of his people for another term.
Now, this is what you are saying. You want the chief to retract, to publicly retract that very statement. So, what if he chooses not to? What happens?
Okay. Oh, actually, we'll be meeting as a group, and I know the chief will listen to us. What we've spoken.
It remains a possibility that he may not heed to this call of yours. If he doesn't, what happens?
Okay, we will be meeting as a group, and we will take a decision on that. And whatever decision that we take, I think we will let you know.
So that means, as things stand now, yourselves, you do not even know what it is you want him to do, or what it is you are likely to force him to do if he chooses not to toe this very line.
We've stated it. We've stated our points in the release that we gave out.
Okay.
That he should come out openly and retract the endorsement made.
Right.
But fine, if he insists on what he said, fine. We will be meeting, because the group is made up of people. I'm not the only person in the group. So definitely the group has to meet, and then whatever decision that we have, we will come out with it, and the public will also
Are you, for instance, considering something to probably get him off his throne, impeach him of some sort?
You said, are we trying to do?
I'm saying that since you are saying that clearly it's against the constitutional mandate given by the chiefs in the constitution, clearly would you be seeking to use that very basis as a legal basis to probably get him off his throne?
Oh, I can't conclude it on that note.
Okay.
But when we meet as a group, I think we will come out with different consensus, and we will come out with a statement again if he fails to listen to our appeal.
Okay. Any timelines?
No, we don't have any deadline.
No timelines. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Franco Bibinitechi, many thanks for your time on News Desk this morning. Franco Bibinitechi is the president of the Concerned Kwahu Development Youth Association, and they are calling on the acting paramount chief of the town, Nana Esiedu III, to publicly retract his endorsement of President John Dramani Mahama. But clearly this raises a bigger issue of chieftaincy and politics. This clearly is not the first time we are hearing of a chief endorsing a sitting president. But really, let's try and find out how this plays out, particularly its effect on the governance structure, the entire governance system. And joining me over the phone lines to help us with that discussion as well is governance expert Dr. Eric Odrosan. He's the Dean of the Graduate Studies and Research at the Institute of Local Government Studies. Doc, good morning. Many thanks for your time, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
So, Doc, clearly a bit of a worrying situation there. So, like I said earlier in my preamble, this is not the first time we are hearing of a chief publicly endorse a president. How much of a problem is that? And looking at how the trend is going, is it not going to be a bit of a worry in this very election year?
Definitely, I would want to agree with you. Let me say good morning to our cherished listeners. It's going to be a bit of a worry, but we can stop it somewhere. I believe that chiefs would have to be very cautious in their utterances, very cautious in their speech. They are supposed to be unifiers. They are supposed to lead people. You know, you don't have to create divisions among the people you lead. The statement the acting paramount chief made, I have listened to it, and I think that if he had mentioned that the current government has brought a lot of development to Kwahu and ended there, that would have been okay. But if you go to the extent of saying that because of that, you want him endorsed by your people, then it means indirectly you are meddling into party politics, which should not be the case. Again, he should not also be seen to be speaking for a section of society. So the key there is that other chiefs must be very careful. The regional House of Chiefs and the National House of Chiefs should quickly issue out a memorandum or issue out a memo to all such traditional rulers that they should their utterances must be one that will unify us as Ghanaians. They should try as much as possible not to get themselves involved in the partisan politics activities of this country, getting to elections, because it doesn't sound good. You need them. All the major political parties contesting in the elections, in one way or the other, have to visit these chiefs. And if you are to visit a chief who has already taken sides, it makes it difficult for us to unify the country. So my advice is that they should be very careful with their utterances.
beyond this advice, what more can be done? Because clearly it isn't the case that they do not know what they are supposed to do and what they are not supposed to do. It's clearly stipulated, for instance, in the Constitution, and becoming a chief also comes with certain things, and obviously they are told all these things and they are aware of all these situations. So beyond just advising them to be neutral, to try as much as possible to be neutral, what more can be done to ensure that, yes, they do stick to the code we all expect of them as chiefs?
Every chieftaincy or every traditional authority has its own council of elders. I will call on the council of elders of the respective paramounts or respective kings or respective authorities to sit their chiefs down and then talk to them. This particular instant, on this particular occasion, the council of elders of Kwahu can speak to the chief and even come out and then also meet with the youth. Because as it is now, the youth may have taken a certain position. The youth may not represent all the youth in that particular area, but I think they constitute a critical mass to be listened to. So the various council of elders would also have to take up their mandate and then advise them. But all in all, I would advise the National Commission for Civic Education to as early as possible start doing a sensitization work on the chiefs, working with the National House of Chiefs on this matter. Because if we don't start now, and it gets into September, October, way to November, it will not be good for us as a country.
Doc, would you agree with those who are of the opinion that the chief needs to retract this very statement and apologize unreservedly to the entire Okoman people?
You know, if it were to be the mainstream governance process or governance activities, and the chief had been a minister of state or any public officer, it would have been easier for us to prevail on the chief to retract this statement. But you know, when it comes to customary laws and traditional systems, it is deemed that the chief is an embodiment of wisdom and he is the custodian of customary laws. So though the chief can have a way of apologizing to the youth, he cannot do this apology in public. What I would say is that the council of elders of the chief should take up the matter and, if possible, come out and make another statement that will seem to be appealing and that will seem to suggest to the youth that the chief never meant what he meant and he meant something else to unify them. But for the chief coming out to retract, it will be extremely difficult. I've never seen it happening in customary law in any traditional system before, and I think it will be difficult for it to happen. An elder of the chieftaincy or the paramountcy can come out to apologize on behalf of the chief, but not the chief himself.
Right. Doc, many thanks for your time on News Desk this morning. And that was Dr. Eric Odrosai. He is the Dean of Graduate Studies and Research at the Institute of Local Government Studies here in Accra, and he's been bringing us his thoughts on this very issue. We're taking a break here on News Desk. When we come back, we'll bring you business, sports, and then we'll bring you some other stories. Stay with us.